Okay, so Zack Snyder's Justice League is a film that fans had to wait a long time for. After suffering through 4 years of one of the biggest downgrades since Mass Effect Andromeda, the Snyder Cut not only got the world's most expensive shave out of our head, but it also improved the characters in several ways. There's a scene in the film that I think perfectly encapsulates how powerful that the League actually are as individuals, and though Superman and Wonder Woman are often seen as the only people who actually do anything in the team, Zack Snyder showed us that every hero has their own purpose. Nowhere was this seen more than in Barry Allen's Flash, who time travelled in the movie during its climax. To me, it's an absolutely perfect scene, and it's completely mind-boggling that Warner Bros. Actually wanted to cut it from the movie because they didn't understand it. I'm not even kidding, one of the best scenes in the DCEU, and Warner Bros. Thought it was a good idea to get rid of it because they didn't get what was happening. Well, let me explain. In this video, I'm going to be going through exactly why I think the scene is perfect, and how it not only teases how powerful the Flash is, but why it also sets up events for the future that will have massive ramifications. If this is your first time here, then welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, aka the guy who's more than just a flash in the pan, and if you agree that this scene is amazing, then please smash the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns like this each and every day, and with that out of the way, let's get into this scene. Now, when I first saw it, it completely took me by surprise because I thought I knew exactly how the movie was going to go. Though we were promised a completely different version to 2017's Justice League, I was expecting the bare bones of the story to be there, and that we would pretty much see the events play out in the same way, even though the acting, takes, cinematography, and well, everything would be better. However, my jaw dropped to the floor when I realised that the League were actually gonna lose. Unable to separate the mother boxes, we got a scene which completely changed what I thought was going to be a predictable ending, and it took things in a brand new direction.
It's too late.
Now at this point the Unity was complete, and the world was about to be terraformed into an apocalypse-like planet, which would render it a complete wasteland. This vision had been predicted by Cyborg when the League were about to resurrect Superman, and for a split second I actually believed that this would set up the nightmare scenario. However, something changed. Flash, who had been knocked out of action, stood up, and he raised his hand defiantly to stop the incoming wave. This is something that the characters symbolically did throughout the movie, and just before the car hit Victor Stone and his mother, he raised his hand up, which was mirrored when his father died too. It's very much a gesture put in place by Snyder to show the heroes defiantly attempting to stop what is about to happen. However, whereas Victor failed, the Flash was able to tap into the Speed Force at this moment and completely change the events of history. Flash healed himself at super speed and then uttered the following words.
Just gotta go faster than the speed of light, far beyond the speed of light. You gotta break the rule, Barry, and you gotta do it now.
Now, whereas in Justice League, Flash had been used to escort a Russian family out of the area, here he was a god able to control time, destiny, and fate. As the character rushed towards the Unity, I got goosebumps seeing him race back in time as the world rebuilt itself around him. This was an absolutely outstanding moment that took him from being a secondary speedster character to one of the best of the best of the best. So, now watching this scene back, I think it's incredible how as he races back to the source, the ground rematerializes at his feet as he places them down. What makes this even more emotional is that the words of Barry's father play out as he goes back.
Whatever you want to be, you're brilliant, man. Absolute best of the best.
Your kid was one of them, Dad. One of the best of the best.
For you to make your own future. You're living in the past.
Make your own future. Make your own future.
Now this is because throughout the film, Barry believed that he wasn't really living up to his father's expectations. Rather than watching him rot away in a jail cell, Henry Allen wanted Barry to go out there and make something of himself. This clearly weighed in on Barry too, but this moment proved just how important he was and why he would never be a disappointment. It was very much important for not only the world, but also the character's view of himself. Now as he finally got towards the center of the explosion, the music really started to ramp up and it made it an absolutely breathtaking scene to watch. I completely love the attention to detail in this moment, and you can even see the molecules reform around the characters who seconds before had been atomized by the mother boxes. As Flash gets closer to where Cyborg is, we can start to see the character coming back together, and this includes his skeleton reforming under his skin as the flesh and muscles layer over the top of it. Something else that really hits home about this moment is just how realistic that the CGI is. To my eye at least, it's impossible to tell whether this is a computer model or if it's actually the actor himself and then they've applied the effects over the top of it. Either way, it makes for an incredible moment, and it connects the Flash to another overlooked character. That is, of course, Cyborg, and earlier in the movie we saw that he was in complete command of every computer on Earth, and that the character was a god on the internet, like your homeboy Kevin's spoilers. Now, much in the same way that Cyborg can control the stock market with a wave of his hand, Flash could also control time in the same manner, and it very much brought two of the most underrated characters together and showed just how powerful that they were. Cyborg would of course go on to defeat the forces of Darkseid, and after seeing the League united in front of him, he decides to halt the invasion of Earth, which of course wouldn't be possible without the Flash. Now, because of this moment, we know that Barry is one of the most important characters in the DC universe, and realistically, he's the only person that can stop the nightmare scenario that we see play out at the end of the movie. A version of Barry of course visited Bruce in the cave during the events of Batman v Superman, and him carrying out this action in the finale lets us know why it's so important that he's there in the epilogue. Now, this of course has massive repercussions for the future of the DCEU, and we now know that this immense power makes Barry wonder what else he can change. In the Flashpoint comic book, Barry travelled back in time to save his mother from being murdered, but this broke the timeline and he ended up in an alternate universe with a different version of Batman. Judging from what we know of the upcoming Flash movie, both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck will be playing the Dark Knight, and this is likely because Barry was tempted by this power to go and change more than just the events of the Steppenwolf fight. His father was of course in jail, and the words he told him rattled through his head as he ran, so it just makes so much sense that he would go back and try and change things to benefit his old dad. Now, this is why the scene is perfect to me. Not only is it a beautiful piece of cinema that has amazing music, CGI and also cinematography, but it also propels a person who was cast to the side in the theatrical cut to the level of being a god. Barry breaking his rule in order to save us all also carries forth the lessons that his dad tried to impart on him, as well as the temptation that having such a gift would cause. If you could change one thing for the better, surely you would try and do it in every instance, and I think that this is one of the defining moments in Barry Allen's life that will have massive ramifications. Now, it explains the questions left in the air by the nightmare scene in Batman v Superman, and also sets up a future in the DCEU in which Barry will be one of the most important characters. It's a complete redemption of a failed vision, and if we're reaching, which we often are, it very much could metaphorically symbolize Snyder himself returning to fix the film. Yes, I said it's a reach, and that's why I left it until the end of the video. Either way though, I think everything in this moment is incredible, and for me it's one of the standout scenes in the entire saga. The scene is perfect, and I hope you've enjoyed me talking about it as much as I have. Now, I'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts, so make sure you comment below and let me know. We are running a competition right now and giving away 3 MCU box sets on the 30th of August, and all you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the video. We pick the comments at random at the end of the month, and the winners of the last one are on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at HeavySpoilers. If you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of the Ratcatcher scene in Suicide Squad, which will be linked on screen right now. I absolutely love that scene as well, and you know, I'm a channel where we just like to talk about things that we like, so definitely go head over there right after this. If not, then thank you for sitting through the video. I've been Paul, I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.